So you might have heard the news. A pretty major piece of work software is about to, well, disappear. That's right. Meta, the company behind Facebook, is officially waving goodbye to its enterprise platform, Workplace. And that leaves millions of users looking for a new digital home. So what's happening and when? Let's dive in. And boom, there it is, the headline straight from Meta. After almost a decade, the whole Facebook for your office idea is officially being shut down. So if you're one of the millions of people who relied on it every single day, what happens now? Let's break down the timeline. All right, first things first, the timeline. If your company uses Workplace, listen up. There are 2 dates you absolutely have to know. Okay, so here's the deal. On September 1st, 2025, everything freezes. It goes into read-only mode. That means no more posting, no more messaging, no creating new stuff. Think of it like a digital museum of your old work. You can look, but you can't touch. But, and this is the big one, on May 31st, 2026, poof, it's all gone. Wiped clean for good. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Workplace, what's that? So let's back up a bit. What exactly was this thing, and what was all the fuss about? At its heart, Workplace was what we call collaborative software. It's just a fancy term for online tools that help teams work together. You know the big names, Slack, Microsoft Teams. It's all about giving you a digital space for messaging, sharing files, and having meetings to get stuff done, wherever you are. And this quote from PC Mag, it just nails it. Facebook, if your employer restricted membership to only your coworkers and bosses. I mean, that's it. It was a brilliant, simple idea, right? Take the Facebook layout that billions of people already know how to use, the news feed, the groups, the chat, and just plop it into a private, secure bubble just for your company. The thinking was, if everyone already gets it, work communication will be a breeze. And yeah, it had all the standard stuff you'd expect. You know, instant messaging, file sharing, video calls. But the secret sauce, the thing that made it different, was that classic machine learning-powered newsfeed. Just like your regular Facebook. It was designed to show you what it thought was most important from all around your company, not just what was posted last. And make no mistake, this wasn't just some little side hustle for Meta. This thing was a big deal. It grew from a simple idea and blew up into a platform that millions of people were using. Let's take a quick look at how it all went down. So the story begins way back in 2015. It was called Facebook at Work then, still in beta. A year later, it gets its official launch. In 2018, they added a really important feature, Safety Check, which let companies do a quick head count during an emergency. And then 2021, that was the high point, the peak, right before this year's announcement that it was all coming to an end. And when I say peak, I mean it was huge. Get this, 7 million paying users by May 2021. We're talking about massive companies like Delta Airlines, all sorts of organizations all over the world, logging into this thing every single day. And that's what makes the decision to just shut it down so dramatic. All right, so let's switch gears back to the what you need to do part. If you're one of those 7 million people, or you used to be, what's your game plan right now? And of course, the #1 question on everybody's mind is, how do I save my stuff? Right? All those posts, messages, important files. How do you get it all out before the lights go off for good? Well, the answer really depends on who you are. If you're just a regular user, you can download your own personal data, but there's a catch. Your system admin has to turn that feature on for you. Now, if you are the admin, you've got the keys to the kingdom. You can use a tool to archive everything for the whole company, and Meta is even pointing admins towards their preferred migration partner, a service called WorkVivo by Zoom. So for you, the individual user, it should be pretty simple. If your company has given you the green light, you just pop into your settings, look for the Download Your Data button, and kick off the process. But I gotta say it again, that last part is crucial. If you don't see that button, you need to go talk to your admin. All right, another big one, money. What about the bill? Are companies still gonna have to pay for this thing while it's winding down? And the answer there is a hard no. Good news, right? Meta's made it clear that from now until that final shutdown date, it's totally free, so companies can focus on getting their data out without worrying about another bill. Okay, so we've covered the nuts and bolts for users. The what, the when, the how. But let's zoom out. What does this move really tell us about Meta and where it's headed? In a word, it's a retreat. The big one. I mean, think about it. You don't just shut down a product with 7 million paying customers unless you're making a major strategic shift. It looks like Meta is waving the white flag in the super competitive world of office software. They're clearly deciding to double down on what they're famous for, their consumer apps, and of course, their huge bets on AI and the metaverse.
And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. With Workplace being dismantled, is Meta basically saying the future of work isn't a digital office anymore, but a virtual one? As they pump billions and billions of dollars into AI and the metaverse, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it?